At the beginning of the week, I might be color coding my life, like Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec, fueled by optimism, caffeine, and the belief that I can fix anything with a well organized spreadsheet. And I do love my spreadsheets. But by the end of the week, you know, it might be the complete opposite. I might be like April Ludgate, questioning every decision that I've ever made, wrapped up in a blanket like a burrito and avoiding participation with society. And these fluctuations, these swings, if you will, they feel like failure, but they're actually just human, right? So we have these swings and we think that it means that we're inconsistent, we don't have discipline, we don't have motivation, but the actual reason that we swing is because we're alive. And there are some days where we're going to feel very on, and there are some days where we're going to feel very off. Our nervous system has limits. Our energy levels fluctuate. So, all those workouts that I skipped, it wasn't always a motivation problem. Sometimes it was my nervous system saying, "We are at capacity. We cannot take any more, input at this time, or we are just going to shut down." And that's how you can start off like a Leslie Knope, and you can end up like an April Ludgate. And there's nothing wrong with either one. It's really about the balance of being both, right? Of understanding um, when your body is telling you that you're on, that you're ready to be productive, that you can, fix things and solve problems and all that kind of stuff. And then there are times where our body says, you need rest. You need to detach a little bit. You need to step back. Those moments where, somebody suggests something and you immediately go, absolutely not. I am not I am not here for that, right? And when we have these major swings, right? It feels like we're failing, but we're not. We're overextended. Okay, we've spread ourselves too thin, and our nervous system can only handle so much before it just puts on the brakes and, hides like a turtle in its shell. And that is a signal that a lot of us don't really listen to or pay attention to. We feel like we have to push through it. We have to do the workout even though we're tired. We have to meal prep the food even though none of it actually sounds like anything that I want to eat this week. Those are all things that we feel we have to accomplish, even though we have all of these other things on our plate. The parts of Leslie Knope's personality show up when you're trying to prove yourself, when you're in a new job or a new relationship, and you're trying to really kind of be everything, to show that you're valuable, to show that you're worth keeping around. When we swing the other direction and we become more like April Ludgate, that's our nervous system trying to protect us. It's saying you can't take on anymore. You can't keep performing and being someone that you think they want you to be. You need to rest. You need to set boundaries, and you need to be honest about who you are. And that's not a failure. It's not a breakdown. It's a recalibration. And this show, this vlog, this whatever, um, is all about becoming. And in order to become yourself, you have to understand when these different parts show up in your life, what's actually driving that. So, when we're feeling like Leslie, we are hopeful and enthusiastic and we're creative and we take initiative, right? But then when our nervous system says, I'm at capacity, I can't do anymore, that's when we kind of turn into April Ludgate a little bit, and we set boundaries and we rest and we protect ourselves. it's not about choosing one or the other. It's not saying that one is right and one is wrong. It's learning to listen to both. It's learning to understand when we feel like the Leslies, what's driving that. And more than that, and probably even more importantly than that, understanding when we swing the other way and we feel like the April Ludgate, to give ourselves grace and to tell ourselves that it's okay to rest. It's okay to set boundaries and it's okay to say no. And that last one was tough for me, right? People would say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Answer was always yes. It didn't matter that I already had 16 other things that I was working on. And, so that's again, the Leslie side, and then there's the April side that says, you know what? I wish I could help you, but I'm already at capacity. I just can't fit any more on my plate right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, we feel like we always have to be on. And that really starts to drain us. It starts to um, make us feel like we're flawed when we have those moments where we finally want to say no, where we finally want to choose rest instead of pushing through something that our body is already telling us we're not doing that right now. But we don't always listen to our bodies, do we? So I digress. So if you've ever gone from meal prepping to just eating cereal or better yet, ice cream for dinner, if you've ever gone from that, I can do anything mentality to I can't do a single extra thing. If you feel like you're two different people depending on the day, you're not inconsistent. You're not failing. You're just human. And maybe becoming and understanding ourselves isn't about choosing between being like Leslie or being like April. It's more about learning to listen to yourself and accept that there are times when we're going to be Leslie and there are times when we're going to be April. And that's okay because at the end of the day, we're all just human.